Oh, hey folks, what's going on? It's Matt with Heroic Tactics. Happy Saturday. It is early. Well, it's not early. It's almost, well, it's 11 o'clock Central Time, so it's morning-ish. I need to get moving to get to my weekly Imperial Assault game, and I'm kind of having a rough morning. I'm sipping my coffee. Uh, uh, this is a really cool, one of the very few ska bands that I ever liked. So if you were into like early 2000s, and not ska like in, think of like raunchy garage rock but with horns, is I guess the best way to describe it. The singer, gosh, like a long time ago when we first heard about the Dead Kennedys reunion, we're like, well, who could actually be a singer? Well, the singer of the Blue Meanies could actually be the singer for the Dead Kennedys reunion. But that's, yeah, it's my favorite coffee cup. I've had it for like 10 years. It's my coffee cup. And you know how you get when you get these kind of things. But anyway, if there was evidence of me not being 100% here yet, that was that last conversation. I am super excited because one, we're playing Imperial Assault this week. And this should be my first actual game. If you watched last week's event thing, I said, I'm excited about my first actual game. Well, I get there, and we play campaign. And I've said from the beginning, I was like, oh, I'm not interested in campaign. So I was like, I'm not sure I want to do that. But then we played campaign, and campaign is fun. I need to go back through all the pieces I've had so far and, play. I need to come back and let's see what's good for campaign. Christopher Smotherman, how you doing, dude? Golly, I can't come back to HeroClix, and I can't come back to HeroClix for one simple reason, is that I cannot say no to stuff, dude. I have an addictive personality. In fact, that's the reason I'm kind of dragging today, is because I was up all night playing Stardew Valley. I had bought it like on a stream sale like a long time ago, and I didn't actually get around to playing it. And like I got out of work and I was like, let's give this a shot. And then it was like 1 o'clock, and I'm like, man, these stupid one more turn games, they get me literally every time. Like Civ 6 like owned my life for like, I like how I use owned in the past tense. Like if I didn't pick up a new game, like if I didn't start a new game, it wouldn't own me again. But own my life for like, God, like 3 or 4 months after I bought that thing. It's just so easy. You're like, one more turn. Well, I gotta do this next turn. I gotta do this next turn. And that's my problem in life, is that I don't really know how to say no. And that is the only reason I'm not playing HeroClix. If HeroClix was not collectible, like, gosh, if they had a way to still have like a super rare, like a tier system, some sort of tier system, like, oh, here's our set. You can get these, what would be a common for like, commons like 5 for $1 or something like that, uncommons, that way if you could just buy the pieces you want and play. And yeah, did they not just release a set? I mean, they're coming out with stuff like ridiculously fast, and it was eaten into my wallet, and I have to listen to it sometimes. It's not fair. I do really like Imperial Assault on the fact that it reminds me a lot of HeroClix, and that's kind of why I switched to this. But yeah, and even though Imperial Assault is not collectible and I could buy my pieces, I still have to really discipline myself and say, look, no, because I'm like, I want to buy everything. I want to buy this piece. I want to buy that piece. And I'm like, come on, bro, dude, you want to eat too, right? Eating is important. But yeah, I would totally come back to HeroClix if they somehow switch the format to a non-collectible game. I'd be there in a second. But yeah, I'm excited about my first game. My actual first game. If you notice, I am playing a totally different team than the team that I showed last week. Last week was like an Imperial Brawler team. And since then, I've been listening to the Twin Troopers podcast. And speaking of which, they're pretty cool. I like them a lot. I haven't looked through the reviews of iTunes, but like I can't imagine there's not a bunch of like Tim and Eric references in there. But anyway, that would be what I do. Anyway, I like those folks, and I'm looking for any other Imperial Assault like podcasts that I can listen to at work. I can listen to podcasts at work, so like I love craving information, listening to new things. I binge listened to them all this week when I wasn't dealing with my computer problems. So yeah, I killed like all but like 2 episodes by Tuesday, and then with computer drama, I didn't even get to the last couple of episodes until Friday. Yeah, it was fun stuff, fun weeks. But anyway, this is my team. I guess I have only one brawler, which is I want to cut people with lightsabers, and that just doesn't seem to be a viable feature in this game at the moment. Who knows what new expansions come out, what new maps come out, and yeah, we'll see where they go in the future. But it is Jedi Luke Skywalker. Twin Troopers did devote an entire episode to him and explain how he's a great threat, and I'm hoping to take advantage of that. But other than that, it's kind of a standard fare. I did just unbox Luke Skywalker and Lando in the most recent unboxing I've done, and so one, my new toys, so I'm excited to give them a shot. Two, they're my favorite characters, so that they had to go on a team. And filling it out with Leia because she's got that sick, I'm going to let you attack ability. C-3PO and Gideon, which are pretty much givens. They're like auto-includes if you play any sort of Rebel, or even if you play Hunter and you use Temporary Alliance to bring them in. They seem to be auto-includes. So running those guys for the obvious reason. And then Elite Rebel Troopers because they're the only generics that I have. When I first got into the game, and I don't want to sound like a jilted ex-lover and keep bringing up HeroClix, but I guess HeroClix was the first. I mean, I've played collectible games beforehand, but it was like the first one that I really went nuts into and started making my own media for, and following the meta and listening to all those things. That HeroClix was my first one for me to really do all that. So that's kind of why I bring it up. It's also my first miniatures game, so obviously when we're making comparisons, when the new L5R comes out, I'm going to be probably making comparison to other card games that I've played and other Fantasy Flight games that I've played and stuff like that. So there's that going on. So yeah, when I first got into this game, I was buying only the big name characters. Only realized this seems to be a game where you want to have at least a decent amount of generics in it. Like you want to have an army, you want to get the one activation to move multiple characters or do stuff with multiple characters. So these are like the only Rebel stuff. I went to go buy the Rebel Saboteurs, which seemed like a really powerful team, at my local game shop, Nerdstock, and they had 6 packs of those and only 1 pack of R2-D2 C-3PO, so I figured I better grab that R2-D2 C-3PO because I got multiple opportunities to grab that Rebel Saboteurs. The Rebel Sabs are like sold out on, they were sold out on cool stuff, so like, another reason to grab stuff from your local things, because sometimes your locals have stuff the popular stuff that the online retailers can't keep a hold of. But yeah, so I'll probably pick them up unless I go nuts and get a Jabba, because like Jabba seems really cool. I wasn't 100% interested in the Bounty Hunters. I mean, I've always been a fan of the Bounty Hunters, but I've played other Star Wars games. Do you all remember the old Fantasy Flight, the old Decipher CCG? And I remember that some of the Bounty Hunters weren't as good as I wanted them to be. Zuckuss was awesome. We'll see if we get a Forlom. That'd be cool too. Oh, they probably will duo pack that. Oh man, that'd be cool. I just remember that Bosk was not as awesome as I wanted him to be, and I know I played X-Wing when it first came out, and I was talking to folks, and they, especially when the Scum was unveiled as its own set, its own faction. That's what I'm thinking of. And I heard there's a lot of disappointment with some of my favorite bounty hunters, like IG-88, and without his attachment, IG-88's kind of a letdown too. So I wasn't 100% on the bounty hunters, but then I've just been listening to the Twin Troopers podcast. I've been looking at the pieces, and let's say before I even listened to the Twin Troopers podcast, I had saw that God, what's his name? I'm drawing a blank. The bounty hunter in Jabba's realm starts with an O, and is a 6 cost, 15 health person, and has like 3 attack dice. And I honestly thought that was a misprint. I'm like, this thing that I'm looking at right now has got to be wrong. And no, he's that. I mean, his drawback is he's got no defensive die. 15 health is a lot to chew through. So, yeah. Awesome. I wasn't, like I said, wasn't 100% convinced on Scum, but I think, and I know they're the new hotness, I think I'll be picking up some Scum stuff at some point. So, we'll see. I might grab a Jabba. We'll see what Nerdstock has. Like I said, buying local is great because that's where we play. Nerdstock, as far as I know, is the only place in Austin that runs a regular Imperial Assault game. So you got to support them. Plus, I don't know how relevant this is to the rest of y'all. It's got the nicest bathrooms I've ever seen in a game shop. Like, they feel like high-end restaurant bathrooms, and like, I don't know, it's very intimidating. I'm like scared to make a mess, you know. I mean, I don't like making mess in regular game shop restrooms, but like, it feels like extra fancy, and I don't know, I'm not a fancy person, and whenever I go someplace fancy, I feel intimidated quite a bit, and those restrooms are quite intimidating. It's a great place, love it, excited to play this weekend. So yeah, this is kind of my team. I guess one, I haven't played a skirmish game ever, so I need to learn how to position well, and I have a feeling that I'm going to fail miserably these first couple of skirmishes. 2, I need to learn how to complete objectives. Like, I've never even really looked at my objectives that came with my characters, so I don't really know how that fits in the great scheme of games. We'll see how that works exactly, but yeah, I mean, obviously, it's just a casual play. I don't think anyone's going to be keeping score, but I will be mentally keeping score, and I will be losing, I think, is how this event will pan out. But that's Imperial Assault. That's only one of the games that I'm super into right now. And the next game that's coming up really soon, it's coming out on Thursday, is the L5R game. I've been rereading the 2 RPG guidebooks that I have for the game. Man, I love RPG guidebooks. I love world building. I just love that universe. I've been on the Wikipedia, their wiki page a bunch, and I'm gonna say they have a kind of depressing wiki page. Not like the wiki page is not up to date. No, not as a quality thing, but like literally every character, they're like, oh yeah, I remember that guy. Oh, he turned evil. And you're like, really? Everybody turns evil? This is not cool. So yeah, it's really like L5R took the Batman line, you either die a hero or live long enough to see yourself the villain. Took that to heart, because that seems to happen to everybody. I mean, or they die young, you know. There's that. But cool. So anyway, we got that release. There's the release of Dragon's Lair on Thursday. The release of Mothership on Sunday. So we got some fun stuff coming up. I'm really excited. I'm really excited to be playing non-collectible games, because once the initial sticker price drops, I don't have to buy anything else, at least for a while. I don't know when the next L5R expansion set is due out, but we'll see. Anyway, Imperial Assault, playing my first game. I will come back next week with probably a shame face, and we'll see what's going on, and tell you how I did. Thank you for watching. This has been Matt with Heroic Tactics, and may all your dice roll hot.